The fact that we've not seen Emmerdale's beowulf unleash his anger at anyone on Celia Daniels' farm has so far highlighted what a vulnerable position he's in. In upcoming episodes, though, Bear begins to find his strength as the former wrestler ends up attacking Ray Walters in the aftermath of Anya's death. Bear has been a slave on Celia's farm since the summer. He was found by Ray shortly after his relationship with Paddy Kirk broke down. Ray discovered Bear living out of his car and lured him into the dangerous world with the promise of food, water, and a roof over his head. Ray has manipulated Bear into thinking that the life he's living now will continue for the foreseeable. It's meant he's fallen in line just like the other workers. But the developments that take place next week are enough to push Bear over the edge. Bear's friend Anya, the woman who arrived in England via the truck from Caleb Milligan's depot, died this week as a result of Ray and Celia failing to get her the help she desperately needed for her infection. Next week, Bear will learn that Anya's body has been hidden in the feed shed. In this new video, Bear expresses his horror to Ray over finding Anya's body thrown against the wall. Bear accuses Ray of treating Anya like rubbish. Ray attempts to take control of Bear and tells him to control his behavior, but he doesn't know that Bear is a former pro wrestler. Angry and devastated Bear grabs Ray and pins him against a wall. "I think he's absolutely horrified," star Joshua Richards said, because he's been told by Ray, who he trusts with his life, that everything's fine. I think initially he gets quite angry, disappointed, and somewhat saddened, but because he's been manipulated very heavily by Ray, he almost forgives him. Anya's funeral will take place after this, but because Celia and Ray need to hide her body from the authorities, the event is dark and disrespectful, and another reminder that Celia and Ray really do not care about the people living on the farm. Bear is made to dig Anya's grave, which also happens to be on Butler's farm. "I think for Bear, it must have been a very poignant and difficult thing to do," shared Joshua. "But of course, he wanted to do right by her and show some kind of respect." Once Anya is buried, there's an utterly heartbreaking scene, as Bear gives a speech and sings a song he used to comfort Anya with over her grave, while Celia watches on without a trace of emotion.